Okay, hopefully you guys can see what I'm sharing. We're in Junco Sprint 3. It's a 3-week sprint, so it'll start today and end on February 10th. So if we were to look at the schedule, this is our feature-free sprint. There are some changes that we're trying to get into place this sprint, so we'll go through that in a second. So in terms of sprint planning, we added an OpenStack integration sprint into Jira. In talking with Hinsun, they really wanted to be able to track their sprints better. And so this way they're able to track what's in progress and what will be done. Backlog scrub, that's in progress. So please continue reviewing your backlog and remove any issues that are no longer relevant. We'll do a backlog scrub next week where we'll go through what has been touched or has not, and then see if we can remove some more items. As you're going through that, if you have any questions, definitely come to the backlog scrub and we can discuss any of the open issues. Bug scrubs. The other thing we want to do in this release is, as we head into the hardening sprint, which is sprint 4, we want to make sure that we're focusing on defect fixes. And so one of the things I've been chatting with Sujitra about is, can we get some bug scrubs in place so that we're making sure the team is focusing on the highest priority defects as we try to get this release out. Junco Sprint 3. So the big thing to keep in mind is feature freeze is at the end of the sprint. There is a request that all features, that means commits, should be merged, and by the end of the sprint, you need to call out any dependencies you have for code reviews to make this happen. So if there's anything there that is a risk, let's definitely call it out. The other thing I should add is we are restarting the ONOS stand-ups. So it is, you'll see it on the ONOS calendar. It's from 11:45 to 12 p.m. PST and should be a good form if you guys need, kind of daily call outs to the team to do something. So if you're blocked on a code review, we really need to get the merges in by the end of the sprint. Please consider using that as a forum to let the team know you need something right away. The plan is, I think previously what's happened is, in order to get a support branch out, master may have been locked for quite a while. The current plan is we will try to lock master very briefly to create a 1.9 support branch, then unlock it for new feature development. Of course, the burden is now on those who are doing defect fixes to make sure they're merging to both branches. But this will reduce the feature churn, because if we can get all the commits merged in before the end of the sprint, we should be able to get a support branch created relatively quickly. Any new work will continue on master. And then for ONS, there were some concerns expressed by some folks. Right, we had talked about being able to do beta releases. And so the plan is to, if you need something more stable for your demos for ONS, ONS occurs after the first K sprint. So we can do a beta release, provide some level of testing, and make sure that that's somewhat stable for the demos. Otherwise, for folks that are doing more ad hoc work, they're welcome to use their own dev builds. And then, of course, please call out any dependencies and blockers you have. And as I've noted, we have the stand-up. Yes, agreed. So Bob called out in the chat that he likes the idea, but that all bug fixes should be merged into master as well as support branches. And that is what we've noted, is that you have to merge to both branches. Okay. And then we'll move on to the Scrum board. Okay, so platform. We'll start with this. Pierre?
Can you make it, do you mind to make it a little bit bigger, please?
Big enough?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, the first two items are two bugs that we discovered from the previous sprint. The first one is, I think, the worst bug because we have some memory leakage in the driver, and we should also evaluate how many pipeline are affecting this problem. But basically, after you push a lot of flows, ONOS die, and there is no way to recover ONOS. The second problem is on the intent framework. Right now, if there are an exception during the compilation installation phase, the intent framework is not able to recover this issue, and we should provide at least, I don't know, a failover mechanism to try to resolve the problem. That's all.
Pierre, does this only affect version 1.9 or 1.8 also?
What? Sorry?
Do these issues only affect 1.9 or 1.8 also? So you're going to be pushing these fixes also to the 1.8 branch?
Okay. Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I will do.
Great, thanks. Is Jagon online?
I think he is a guy from the community. I don't know.
Okay. You?
So this ticket is for investigation and planning for, so there's a security test suite called Delta from ON.Lab. And I will read the existing test cases and run them, and also plan for the integration for this test.
Okay. Thanks. John?
So I guess John will mainly focus on verifying this bug in this sprint, and he will close or comment on after verification.
Okay, Sienna said that they were still seeing some issues less frequently, but it sounds like what they had was they had done a soak test based upon something that they've built, and they've integrated atomics themselves. And so what I've asked David Bainbridge to do is have Sienna do a soak test based upon 1.8.2. This way we're using the same thing, and if there are any issues, we're using the same version to try to debug and fix against. And so we'll wait on that. There should be some stories that will come in or defects that come in for that. And we'll need to figure out how critical those are as we head into kind of sprint 3 and sprint 4.
Yeah, okay.
Shimizu? Luca?
Or to improve improvement in performance of resource service. I have created a preliminary task for that for a specific query performance improvement, but I found issue incurred by the task, so I have to take care of that, and it takes I think it takes time.
So I have a question for you on this story. Because so nothing wrong. I know it's a big job, but I see 5 story points, and I see it like the third sprint that I see the story in. I'm underlining it just not because something is wrong, but just because I need to understand when we might think to have the improvement, or if we should split the story in multiple stories that can fit into a sprint. Because like this, we
splitting multiple tickets is better, I think. So
yes.
So I can measure right now how when the performance improvement is done.
Yeah. You know, not precisely. I know it's hard, right? But at least roughly to understand what will come when would be great to have.
The issue incurred by the test, preliminary test, is need lot of work in terms of website.
I know. That's why I'm saying it doesn't reflect, I guess, at this point, 5 story points, right? So, yeah. Thanks.
So what I'm hearing is there needs to be more stories added and broken apart.
Yeah, I guess the story right is bigger than what was planned originally. So I'm just suggesting if we can better scope the story or break it down in more stories and put inside the sprint what we can really achieve by the end of the sprint.
And so is this an investigation task then? To figure out the work? Okay. So in general, if you guys are doing investigations, time-boxed investigation spike is always useful. Okay, let's move on to the next one, GUI. Simon?
Right, yeah, so the main crux of this sprint is to complete the support for the packet optical, selecting an intent from the intent view and having it render on the topology view. So that's what I'll be mostly focused on. There's some documentation that I need to do and a time box investigation of the search facility. We need to kind of make some headway on that. That one, if any, might slip out to the next sprint as it's not actually adding functionality yet. And then work continues on the topology 2. I'm providing some support to Stephen, who's doing most of the client-side work for that. And then one of the items is that in the new topology view, the sprites auto size based on the zoom level, so it doesn't clutter with super huge icons, and we're going to retrofit that back to the classic topology view. So hopefully we can get that done in this sprint. And then the last one there is a holdover from last sprint. We're basically doing some refactoring behind the scenes to clean up the code base and kind of reduce its footprint a little. That's it.
Virtualization?
Okay. Hi. So actually we will keep continuing to develop the web agents and the virtual service managers and providers in this sprint. But I'm a little bit worried about that we cannot keep make out the deliverables. So I don't know if it can make it out up to this end of the sprint, so people picture freezing, but we will try our best to follow our picture deliverables. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, maybe take a look at it and see if you can do some sort of vertical slice. My only concern is you seem to have a lot of work.
Yeah, but I listed up a little bit many items, but the two things, the tagged with 1.90, one is already submitted, so it's under review, but not merged, so I listed on, but that is already done. ONOS 5647 and 5571, both 2-1.
Okay, so these are under review, and then you're looking at just those. Not too bad. I think the main thing to call out is if you guys are waiting on a review, in order to get everything merged, please make sure that those get addressed early on.
Okay.
And then dynamic config. Patrick?
Yes. So basically we have overall we have 18. For some of the Jira ticket is still debatable if we really need and put into high priorities. Overall, it's 18. So which include, I think you need an update. Can you update? I just did the modifications. Some of them still stay in sprint 2. Yes, no. It's 18, right?
18.
Okay. Yeah, 18. So I just moved the group the component. So we are still group the component. Within the component, like a RESTconf, dynamic config service, the priority and commit orders as in the same order. So if we have the dependencies, the intercomponent dependencies we are added into the descriptions if there is any dependencies. So far we didn't find any critical dependency except the RESTconf app rely on the YARN runtimes and service and others that provide the APIs. We hope we can get resolve those dependency in the this week. Okay. So basically, still the RESTconf protocol modification, RESTconf app, that is the abstraction layer, and the dynamic config service. And you probably confused about this YMS integrations. That is all the bugs. Basically, we need the fix in the bug compilers. This fix basically will benefit both YMS and the dynamic configurations. So we opened this ones sometime before. The YARN runtime. So the dynamic configuration still need this. They already committed code. So I think in the morning, sometime. Okay. So the YARN runtime is still this one's models, tools, and the YARN runtime. Okay. So I didn't see anything new. Okay. You probably could interested in after the Sprint 2, what the overall project, what we can achieve. Okay. Based on the component, you could figure out the overall. We have the several component, right? So for the RESTconf and the RESTconf app, after this one, the RESTconf protocol, we have the modifications done 100%. So the RESTconf is the 95%. We still have some things need to be fixed. Dynamic configuration is the overall is the 60 to 65%. So the strategy currently we build this ones in. We have the multiple components. We have northbound, southbound, the core, the utility, and the store. So complex, right? So we need to set a certain point. We can start doing the component, the intercomponent integrations. So at the end of this sprint, we can do northbound to southbound, the stores, and the YARN runtimes, the integrations. That is the good news. Okay, so the runtime, yes, it's the 60%. Yes, I think the overall the YARN tools is 100%. So by the end of this sprint. Yep, that's all I have. Looks like the Yan, I need to work with you and Sim offline on the demo. So basically, we can start the form APP teams and set the milestones to start the integrate the application with this infrastructures sometime in the first week or the middle of the March. That is the goals we're trying to achieve.
Okay, that's and my understanding is you guys are prioritizing the schema aware.
Yeah. So which one? The last one, schema aware, the
Similar interactions with the store rather than
you are talking about the last one, 5889.
interactions with the store, right?
Oh yeah, yes. The overall the applications that is a schema weird. Okay, but we are still has the internal debating about this the 5889 if we really need the fix or not. So I'm not sure, but we're still open on these issues 5889.
Okay, there seems to be a lot of work going in, so the main thing is making sure that all of this gets reviewed and merged, right?
Yes, it's a pretty challenge, but we have to push everything's moving forward, to meet the goals. We have the ONS demo pressures, right? So that is the deadlines. Now is in the beginning we were just thinking it's most of the code can be reused, but after the architecture refactoring, a lot of new things are happening. So we it's a lot of work.
Agreed. But I think one of the things we had
new work.
yes,
Okay.
I'm not getting the impression that it'll be ready by the end of this sprint. So I assume that there's going to be work as we head into K, right?
Yes. We are still trying incremental way to do the integrations among those components. The multiple components, right? We need to take care of the northbound, the core, and the southbound, end to end. A lot of things. Yeah.
Yep. Just keep in mind we're freezing at the end of this.
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, no problem.
Deployment?
Yes. So we need to finish the work with the meters. Really, I really hope that by this sprint we can finally conclude this and get all the reviews in place and match the code. We move forward, but we still have things to do. Then we have bandwidth allocation in VPLS. So last sprint we did bandwidth allocation in the Intel framework, and now we can bring it to VPLS. We have a couple of other changes to merge and to get review. There's the work he is doing. So do you want to talk briefly about that? Briefly, just say the story and what you're doing. Close to anybody.
Hello. Hi. Currently, I'm doing the porting the ONOS to a switch and let the VDI support or DPA switch. Currently the OptiGate does not support VM transition with duplicate packet. Yeah, and now we are working on basic APIs functionality and I'm working on modifying the link collection intent compiler. Yeah, so yeah.
And then we have that's it, right?
Yeah. I want to spend also some time to provide a review for Utah's work and also the intent domain work. I didn't create a Jira issue for this, but we should move forward because now it's like 1 month, maybe also more, that this story are sit on Garrett and it's too late, I think. So we should move forward also this story and spend some time to review all the code.
And Pierre, I see you in a lot of epics and sprints. So
yeah, I'm also, but that's fine.
so just look through what you haven't realistically prioritized, right? Because you're kind of all over. whatever you don't think you'll get to, please let the dependent people know. Okay, packet optical.
Yeah. So a few main items that we're working on. One is we're getting a lot of equipment from vendors, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with them, what's needed in terms of you know, on the ONOS side, what do we need to support it, not just the driver, but what kind of behaviors do we need to implement, and also in terms of how do we, you know, show this publicly at various conferences that are upcoming. The second piece of work has to do with everything to do with protection, and I guess alarms can be part of that. So the, you know, covering situations when things don't go as planned, how do we fetch or get notified of that, and what do we do about it? How do we restore network connectivity? So all the ones that have to do with fault management, with alarms, with packet optical are really targeted at that. And then there's two bug fixes that are going in. Things that we've noticed only by, you know, getting this new optical equipment, we started seeing defects or people made changes in the overflow handshake. So we got to go in and make a few fixes to support those cases properly. I think that's all.
Okay, and then does someone have a comment? Okay, the new sprint that we added was the OpenStack integration. So Hyunsoon is working with us and will be contributing, but because of the time, she's not able to kind of represent the story she's added. So. Okay,
who are those people? It's Johnson, and who's I can't see I see the icon, but I don't recognize who that is.
Sango.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. That's all we've got. Any questions or comments? I think the main thing to keep in mind is we have a feature freeze, and we are really going to try to hold that freeze. So if you have merges, I've been told in the past that Brian and Ray have had lots of requests after the pack to merge features. We are working to change that. So please get all your stuff in before the end of the sprint. And make sure it's merged before the end of the sprint. So not like a huge commit before the end of the sprint. Okay? Okay, thanks everyone. And then I will start the sprint at 4. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay, bye.